to another Shinobi collection video, and let's update the tier list. So this is the last tier list that I believe I made at the end of last year. So there's no 2022 units in here. The latest unit that was released in this tier list was Kizuna, Madara, and Obito. And deserving as it is, they deserve that solo spot in double S. And with that, before we go to the new units, so the new units we're going to be adding are God Kaguya, Kizuna, Naruto, Sasuke Adult, Kizuna, Naruto, Sasuke Kid, and Kizuna, Sakura, and Kakashi. So, to start, I want to move some characters. So, the first character I want to move up is these guys. Kizuna, Sakura, and Tsunade, they're moving up to the S tier. They're going up here just for being a really strong formation unit. This will allow you to run a 4 Kizuna team, which I will go over later, which is I think might be the best team in the game, but who knows. But yeah, this Sakura and Tsunade lets you do that. And the character I want to move down, Pain. GK Pain lacks damage, which is already a problem for him to begin with. His main point is his terrain, and with the characters that are coming out now, his terrain is just not possible to keep up anymore. I'm also moving down these two characters, as well as Sasuke and Hashirama. Minato can stay up there just because he has a really solid built-in attacks. Hashirama is dropping because Uchihas are not really that prevalent anymore. The only ones is Uchiha Madara, Sasuke, people start Naruto, and yeah. And then for the S plus tier, I want to move down Kizuna, Kakashi, and Obito, just because there's better units that does their job, which is namely just these guys. Sure, they're really solid, but it's just hard. And then they can stay. You already dropped you. Kakashi can stay with Pain because they're pretty much a little bit worse than Pain. And then let's see what else. That's fine. Well, I want to move Gaara down. Terrain removals is nice and all, but he just doesn't have a spot in any team. And that will be the exact same thing for Madara. Madara just doesn't have any spots for teams. Sakura still has good usage. I'm gonna move up Naruto and Jiraiya. Their formation is pretty strong. And I think that's it. These guys, just because they have a formation, even though they're really bad. So yeah, that's it for the movement. So let's start with the character that came out first during the year, which is Kizuna, Naruto, and Sasuke. They're the best DPS in the game. They're the most annoying enemies to fight, especially since there was a Naruto bug where he can one-shot you. In my opinion, Madara and Obito is a little bit more important, especially for the player. But for the enemy, Naruto and Sasuke is 100% more terrifying. In my opinion, they have the best Kizuna skills in the game because it's a unique state that disables skills. Pale Violence does it, but Pale Violence is not guaranteed to disable skills, while theirs is guaranteed. So it's hard to say who's better because this is a pure DPS unit. Naruto does a lot of damage while Sasuke ignores lives. In this one, Obito you don't really use much. You're mostly using for Madara for the Pale Violence for the debuffs. So I'm gonna put them both in double S for now. Then Kaguya. Kaguya could be at S. Because she's a God State user, what she does well is removing terrains. And that's that. I wish they did her a little bit more justice, but sadly they didn't. There's nothing we can do about that. And then Kizuna, Kid Naruto, and Sasuke. I'm gonna probably put an S plus. And before we do that, let's see. Let's go over what they do real quick. I didn't make let's see. I guess this is a bit much. There you go. So Kizuna Naruto, Kid Naruto, he's a disabler. Just like Madara. That's why, in my opinion, these two Kizunas that came out, Naruto is possibly the second best but could be the most important depending on your team comp. If you don't have Madara, you can probably run Kid Naruto plus Kizuna Kakashi. But I have to experiment more on what he does because I have him. I have both of them, so I'll probably do a showcase whenever. So Kid Naruto, he deals 3% plus 2 million to all enemies, inflicts attack, defense, and speed down minus 100%. He deals 8 additional attacks, and then high chance to inflict the Rasengan unique state. His S2 heals and buffs stats, as well as gives the intimidate state. S2 you'll never use, and then his Kizuna skills deals 3 million plus 7 additional attacks, and it grants the teamwork friendship state. So the teamwork friendship state and the teamwork lightning fang, which is the other Kizuna's unique state from their Kizuna skills, are the exact same thing. Their lead is stats plus 200%, cast speed plus 3, pretty good. His ability 1, which is the exact, so Naruto's kit and Sasuke's kit are pretty much exactly the same. The only difference is the Rasengan versus the Chidori state. So their ability 1 is high chance to inflict Rasengan unique state when rotating 2, insta-kill immunity, and then damage limit built in, 4 revives, and then cleansing. Ability 2 is more speed, turn manipulation, and counter attack, dealing the Rasengan state. So the Rasengan state, it consumes 1 action, which I'm assuming is similar to illusion. If that's similar to illusion, then this state is actually really strong. Instant action disabled, which is amazing, and then they're gonna get buffed by 1000%, and it disables positive special in God state. If this is what that is, consumes 1 action, if that's very similar to illusion, then that's gonna make Kid Naruto in this tier. That will most likely match the debuff of Madara, but Madara has the support while Naruto does have the support, but that support is in his Kizuna skills. But his Kizuna skill is actually really insane. So I'm gonna put him in double S for now. So teamwork, friendship, it grants 3 penetration additional attacks, grants instant action to team 7, speed plus 1000%, and then disables, and then it's just an omni protection, and that's to all allies. So for Madara starts with his damage cut plus everything. Naruto, however, him and Sasuke, because they're pretty much the exact same unit minus whatever their state is, are very similar to Madara. You could almost say they're identical units. So if we just go back to the database real quick. I don't have them added in here yet, but the one I want to look for is Madara, not Obito actually. So Obito over here is speed up plus 1000%, cast speed is set to flash, damage limit 700,000, and omni protection. So what's great about this is, if you look at him, they don't have a built-in damage limit. These characters, I believe, have their damage limit built into their status effect, while these characters have it built into their kit. So what I'm imagining is, if you have Naruto with Sasuke and as well as Sakura and Kakashi, you might not need Madara and Obito. And with that, let's go over Sasuke actually. So that was Naruto. Pretty solid. He's a disabler. Sasuke, on the other hand, he is pretty much the exact same thing over here. 1 less additional, I believe. So Sasuke is a debuffer. He's an, I would like to call Imperil. So he makes it so all your attacks will just hit. Just because he makes everyone weak to all types. So that's really useful. So you're no longer gonna hit 0 unless it's a fixed damage and the enemy is immune to fix. So Sasuke, he grants cut into them, weak to all types. You skip them when you attack them, and then disable positive special in God state. In my opinion, Naruto's better, but they're 2 for 1. So there's nothing wrong with going to Sasuke. Sasuke is a little bit faster, I believe. And then teamwork friendship is the exact same thing. The thing with teamwork friendship is what I said with before. Let's go to Kakashi now. Sadly, I don't have Sakura's infographic because I was sick. I didn't have time to make it. So Kakashi, if you look at Teamwork Lightning Fang, it's the exact same thing, which means they stack. If you get this off, you're giving your teammates 6 additional attacks, penetrating. Pair him up with these guys who already hits for 26. You added another 12. So they're gonna do insane damage. And then for Kakashi is a little bit worse. All he is he's pretty much the tank of the teams. He grants instant action to Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura, as well as immortality to himself, speed buff to himself, and then just cleansing everything if he gets attacked. So really, actually, still very very strong. And then for Sakura, sadly I don't have the infographic. I'll be making that after this video most likely. Sakura is the DPS. So Sakura deals 9 additional attacks, inflicts skips, revives a random ally. Her inner Sakura is gonna be one of the most annoying thing to fight in PvP because it makes it so she counters attack with her S1. So she's just gonna S1 counter attacks, and that's gonna be really strong. As well as recasting, but the recast, in my opinion, is probably not gonna be relevant. But it gives her 6 additional penetration attacks, combined with Teamwork Lightning Fang and Teamwork Friendship. That's gonna total up to 6. So she's also in double S. In my opinion, there's no triple S tier. The reason why there's no triple S tier is I can't say any of these units over here, the Kizunas, are better than each other. All of them have different usage. This is your debuffer, this is your debuffer. This is your DPS, Sakura is your DPS, Kakashi is your turn manipulator. Naruto is gonna disable instant action, no one else in here disables instant action. This one disables skills, Naruto consumes 1 action. Sasuke is also very unique, he makes everyone weak to all types. Sakura counters attacks, while Kakashi is pretty much the tank and also makes it so Sakura, these guys, as well as these guys, they're just gonna have pretty much infinite turns. And then Naruto is just a big DPS and Sasuke ignores lives. It's crazy how unique everyone in Double S are. Each of them have very unique playstyles. And when I said earlier before that you can probably get away with running 4 Kizunas, I mean these 4 Kizunas plus Tsunade and Sakura. Just because they can remove terrain so you don't have to deal with that. And yeah, that's the tier list. In my opinion, if I were to order the top 4, I want to probably say this is the order. Just because the most annoying thing in this game is the enemy launching their Kizuna skills. If you don't have Madara in your team, let's say you don't have Madara in your team, the enemy will 100% get their Kizuna skill off. Most teams are running 3 Kizunas. At least last PvP, people are running them, and then them. Now, you're going to be seeing them, or them. Maybe even all 4. So you're going to try to tank 4 Kizuna skills. They have their best Kizuna skill in the game. Their Kizuna skill does so much damage for no reason, while theirs makes them immortal. Kakashi's already immortal, so that's also fine. But the only way to counter that is disabling their action. And there's only one way to disable their action, and that's Pale Violence. You can't hit them with a state debuff that disables action. That doesn't work. You can't hit them with status effect because that also gets cleansed. So our only answer back then was Pale Violence. Now our other answer is Rasengan. So that might come in very very handy. That's why I think they might be better. The only thing is the end of reality is also really really strong because that gives you Omni Protection. You have to launch their Kizuna skill to get the Omni Protection. But characters nowadays are coming with like built-in damage cut or built-in cleanse or built-in Omni Protection. Like they come in with Omni Protection if you S2, and that also think they might be cleansing it. Let me look back at Naruto. Does he also cleanse it? He doesn't cleanse it. He has to have his state up. He cleansed status effects. Yeah, grants. It's in his S2 that disables it. So yeah, that's the updated tier list. In my opinion, this is perfect actually. Yeah, this is nice. There's some that people might disagree with, but that's whatever. I'm gonna probably try to showcase these two sometime soon. PvP's not out yet, but 3v3 might do. So with that, I'll see you on the next video. Bye.